Hey, good morning, friends, and happy Friday on this beautiful day. Pastor Jason here just checking in with us. The Upper Room Book of Disciplines and the lectionary has us continuing in the first letter of John. I'm going to pick up in chapter 4, verse 16 is where we're going to start today, friends. And just hear this word. As you go into your Friday, as you go into your weekend, as you get prepared to join us in worship on Sunday, friends, take this word in today and get ready to let the Lord act. 1 John chapter 4, starting at verse 16. So we have known and believe the love that God has for us. God is love. And those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. Love has been perfected among us in this, that we may have boldness on the day of judgment, because as He is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, for fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not reached perfection in love. We love because He first loved us. Those who say, I love God, and hate their brothers or sisters are liars. For those who do not love a brother or sister whom they have seen cannot love God whom they have not seen. The commandment we have from Him is this: those who love God must love their brothers and sisters also. There's much that we can pull out from there. Many keywords, many great verses. Maybe some verses that you wrote on your heart years ago, where you have crocheted on something that hangs up in your house. I don't know, but there's no fear in love. Perfect love drives out fear. Fear has to do with punishment. And I think that's a place where a lot of people get stuck. This vision of God that John is writing about, of God being love, is very different than what a lot of his hearers would have thought. You know, we have this idea of this vengeful, spiteful, angry God just exacting punishment after punishment after punishment on people who don't do what He wants. And while God is known to execute justice, God is jealous for us. All of that comes from a place of God also being righteous and immutable and eternal and everlasting, and coming from a place of love. God is love, but God is not just love. Friends, hear that again. God is love, but not just love. It's one of the many facets that make up, what we try to articulate and describe as God. But what John is talking about here is this moving along a spectrum from just being scared of God and what He's going to do, but just abiding in God's love because God abides in us. So we're no longer afraid of being punished for what we have done or will do, but instead we find rest knowing that the Creator of the universe knows us, loves us, calls us by name, and wants to wrap His arms around us. And it's hard to jump straight to that point, friends. It's okay if you're struggling with that. Just keep moving. That's what I want to encourage us to do today. There are things in this world that are going to make us very angry and upset, but it doesn't have to move us to hate. There are people in this world who we will disagree with, who maybe we may not like, who maybe we don't want to spend a lot of time with, but oh my goodness, what do we have to do? We have to love them anyways. It's a spectrum. It's a continuum that we move along. But friends, we gotta keep moving forward, keep growing in love. Love of God, love of each other. Moving towards that place where we can rest comfortably, abiding in God as God abides in us. And we're no longer fearful. We're no longer just waiting for punishment. We're no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop, but just moving into a place of just comfort and peace, surrounded by God. There are big issues, big ideas to wrestle with and wrap your heads around, friends. And if you'd like to talk about this a bit more, leave us a message here, reach out to myself or Pastor Angie. We would love to help get involved with a small group. You can let us know if you want to be a part of that. God is love. He's more than that too. He's more than we can imagine, more than we can comprehend, more than we can articulate. But the goal, friends, is to keep moving along to that place where we're just abiding, resting at peace in God's love, as God is at peace and at rest in us as well. Friends, take some time on this beautiful day to consider that. 1 John chapter 4, verses 16 through 21. Be safe and be well. Remember how much that you are loved. Bye, friends.